So I'm just going to go back just to rebrief just what we're talking about today. So we're talking about building your YouTube community. This is something that I have done to catapult my initiatives forward. And it's not just what's happening in YouTube, but it's what's happening across all of my social media platforms, and then how I'm driving traffic back to my particular initiatives so that I can elevate my brand and really push initiatives forward. And so today I'm going to share some of the techniques and create new content. So before I get started, I just want to talk a little bit about my background, just so you can get some perspective of where I've been and why I'm speaking with you today. So, tech, I have a computer science degree, and most of my work has been in infrastructure. And my last company was VMware, where I was the director of cloud and software-defined data center. Through this process, I have been exposed and interviewed several successful people, both in technology and other industries. And I collected all of these interviews and that material into some books that I've written. So I have The Working Woman's GPS, Before You Say Yes, and I co-authored The Confident Woman. So in addition to my high-tech career, high-impact women, and many times it really is mixed audiences. And I use both my YouTube channel and many of my social media website and blog to really elevate the conversation. Through that, I also Women, which is an organization of technically savvy women in multiple industries across it's across 3 cities right now and has thousands of members. I also have Journey Charms, which is inspirational charms, and then Purposeful Woman is really my home base. That is really my career and leadership strategy to impact women. And so for the last few years, I've been orchestrating all of these initiatives, and it really has. I have really found that even through gathering all of these people and creating these groups and these different businesses and writing books, and I started a blog in 2008, and then I wrote another book, I really felt like I was still really trying to get above the fray. With so much content out there today, I really felt like I had to differentiate myself. And so many people really kept telling me, oh, show, or you should do write more blogs. And although I've been doing those for many years, I was trying to look at different angles of how to really elevate the message to my existing audience and my new audience. And through all of this research, and probably no surprise to anybody on this phone call, is that, you know, video is the 2nd largest search engine. So YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine. And so I really was trying to figure out how can I use video to really impact my business bottom line and increase my base. I mean, those are, how do I reach more people and how do I get them engaged in the activities I'm working on? And so I started down the path of teaching myself video, which many of you have probably done. I've looked at several applications. I currently use many of my videos that I create are interview format. And what I do is I actually interview high-impact women through Skype or Google+. I record the screen, and then I clip the video, add pictures, music, intros through Camtasia. So that is my application of choice. And I've been working on this for several months now, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the benefits that I've already received in just a few months of really engaging other people, learning all my own video techniques, and then and bringing in other people to really advance.
JJ, I apologize.
You know, what am I going to talk about? I would watch all these video channels, and I was really trying to figure it out. And very simple, similar to Powtoons, what they're doing today is really engaging other people in the conversation. Because I think there's just so much benefit and so much knowledge out there, and bringing that in from each other is very helpful. So you may get a few nuggets from this webinar series, you may get a couple from the next one, and the benefit is you know, you don't have to learn it yourself oftentimes. You can listen to people that have done different activities and different initiatives and take back.
JJ, can you hear me? JJ?
YouTube channel, and these are sort of things that I have learned about an effective channel. And I have hired different people to help with my channel, really more on the layout and the length of the video. But you know, one of the things I think is most important in solving, you know, what is going on in people's lives that are viewing your videos, and then what angle are you going to take to talk about how to solve that problem or provide education, knowledge, expertise around that particular topic of interest. You know, where is your, because what I have learned, not only just in writing books, but also in many of the webinars I do, is the more specific things that you can focus on, the more effective you're going to be. So when I was first writing my first book, they said, if you write a book on cats, you know, you'll sell X amount of books. But if you write a book on cats with green eyes and black fur, you'll actually triple the revenue stream. Because when you really focus in on your audience, you find your audience, your niche, the problem they're trying to solve, you actually can exponentially impact your work and your effort in getting access to these people if you're very specific about your audience. And so what I started to do is I started to watch what they were watching today. What are the videos they're watching? Where do they go for information? Essentially, who's my competition, and what are they doing on YouTube today? And then, you know, I had to find people who could help. I always tell folks, you know, a lot of these things you could do yourself, but why? Why not hire experts to help you get this off the ground? You can do it much faster, and to me, oftentimes speed to market is more important than me learning every single aspect of the business. And then investing in applications that streamline the process. So I use Camtasia. I have a whole video system in my office, and little by little I invested in that so that I can create videos on my own. Sometimes I outsource the editing of the videos so that I can get them up faster, because I have a lot more information out there that, a lot more things that I'm working on that I actually have to get up and running outside of just the video. So the video is just a small sliver of my business, but actually been one of the most impactful aspects in the last few months. And then embed the call to actions. This is awesome. You really have to, I'm going to show you how to embed the call to actions too in your videos. And most people only watch videos for 2 minutes. It's really 2 minutes or less, although I'll show you in a minute, is embedding calls to action throughout your entire video, not just at the end or the beginning. And so embedding calls to action, you can do that right through YouTube, and you can drive them to a subscription mechanism, which is either on YouTube or through your own personal website and blog. And then the 2 to 4 minutes. I really think this is important, because when I started down the path of doing this, my videos were 11 to 15 minutes. And what I didn't know is that with YouTube, you actually are ranked based on how much of your video is watched. So if your video is 14 minutes long and most people only watch 2.5 minutes, then you're actually ranked based on how much your viewers watch of your videos. So it's really important to have 2 to 4 minute videos so that you have most of your videos are watched for the entire duration, which will help with your ranking in the search engine. Okay? So the goal of the video, and just for many of you listening, I mean, I would say the video has been a very creative tool, but really the goal for me with video is to have engaging content that people are interested in, that elevates the brand. So I do a lot of speaking, I do a lot of writing, and as I publish books, publishers are more interested based on my subscriptions and my followers. So I watch many subscriptions. Actually, my subscription levels are thousands and thousands of people through my own subscription mechanism. So all of my videos drive subscriptions back to my own personal website so that I can actually capture their information and that I can market to them directly. And so I don't get too caught up on the subscription on the actual YouTube page itself, but it's really everything I talk about and all my embedded calls to action go back to my particular website so I can capture them in an Aweber tool. The next is partners and linkbacks. I do a lot of interviews through YouTube and through my videos, and I do that purposefully. One, because I really think that people can teach people. But second, the videos that I create, not only do I post them, but also the person I interview posts them. And then we both use social media platforms to advertise the new content that exists on the channel. So that link back is really important, again, with search engine optimization, and really important that, that you think about how you're going to establish partnerships so that not only do they showcase your video, but they can tweet about it, they can put it on LinkedIn. And most of my videos, I use YouTube as a home base, but I am an active poster on most social media platforms. So you will see the same video in 5 to 10 places outside of YouTube. And then finally, the whole reason I do this is really to increase my subscriptions. My subscriptions equal impact. My impact actually drives bottom line growth. So all of the videos that I create are really at the end of the day is to increase subscriptions, to increase my revenue streams. And although videos are fun and I like to do them, I really keep close track on the analytics to make sure that it's a good use of my time and it's actually driving my bottom line. Okay, so we're going to get into the channel, and I'm just going to show you around different things of the channel. I'll show you different programs I have running. And some of the things, I'll come back and go this. So I'm just going to jump into the channel right now. I have several windows open to show you here, so just give me a second. Okay, so so the channel is Purposeful Woman, and I have a flash video right here. So for those of you that want to kind of go along with me, I'll post it in there. You can see it's YouTube. You can check it out while I'm going through it. Okay, so you can basically follow along with me. And so I essentially had I basically have created a banner, which is really important. I have a video, a channel video that exists here that you can see when you log onto the page. And then I have each of the groupings of women that I address. So I have a very big following in women in science, technology, engineering, math. So that's a big grouping for me. I also have Women to Women, Pursue Your Passion. And so these are women on a mission that are authors or have businesses or are doing nonprofit initiatives around the world that provide advice. I have personal branding, which are videos I've created that are 1 to 3 minutes long. And these personal branding drive back to a paid webinar that I do in a group coaching session that I do with subscriptions. And then I have full stories. These are a little bit longer. These are more like, are more than 5 minutes. It's a more complete story. I work with different coaches to create different sections. So this one is on career transitions and enhancement advice for your career. And it's great because I work with different coaches to provide advice, and then we drive business back to their website. And then we share some of the profits that are achieved by some of these videos. And so for many of the videos that I create, Cathy's just one example. At the end, we actually put, and I'll just show you one of these videos. I'll just jump to the end. But at the end, we have 10 of these done, so these will all be up. But if we go to the end, you'll actually see that, oh, that's great. You'll actually see that at the end, we drive people with a, starts all the videos with an intro video. And at the end, we basically drive.
Your resume? Take advantage of Purposeful Woman's discount code, PWResume, and contact Cathy today. She has helped with my resume and many women in my extended network, and I can assure you she will help you too.
So all of my videos have a call to action, and many people will say, well, your call to action should be subscribed to my YouTube channel. And, you know, that could be it, but really what I'm trying, again, to go back to my goals is I'm driving new revenue streams and I'm advancing women in the marketplace. So most of my call to actions are driving an action outside of YouTube. And so anyone who follows up with Cathy with the PW code for resumes, actually will know it's driven from these videos. It advances her business and advances Purposeful Women as a whole. So that is just one example on how we basically have used videos to drive additional revenue streams to different members of Purposeful Women. Okay, and then different presentations. And so I actually speak all over the country, and oftentimes I do international presentations. And so I make sure I integrate TV shows, interviews, presentations in the site too. And so the more activity I have on this site, the actual more money I get for speaking and different appearances. And I really use the channel to drive my brand elevation. And so this has been a really effective tool to get a lot of information out there in a visual format, which basically allows me to get above the fray. I've incorporated many different women in the interview process and a lot of advice and lessons learned. And so it's been a very effective process through this. Some of the things that I want to show you too is one of the other things that we do in one of the other videos is, I believe it's right here. These are the Women in STEM videos. That's not it. The Women in STEM videos, we actually have a call to action that, let me just go here. I'll just show you. So we have plenty of videos here. And we embed annotations right in the video. So since a lot of people jump off, this is a longer video. You gotta love YouTube. But so basically when we put it right in, oh, here it comes. Okay. We put an annotation right in there that allows you to say subscribe now. And once again, when we put the video in there, when we put an annotation in the video, it actually is driving people to subscribe now. And again, you can drive those either back to your own list or to the YouTube list. So really thinking about how you're going to use the subscriptions and what best works for your business. Okay? And if you have any questions, please feel free to jump in here. So there's one more thing I wanted to show you, and here's the Powtoons video too, just so you know, for those of you that are, oh, that's not going to work. For those of you that are looking, it's great to have an intro video. I think it's really important that, okay, great.
Hi, this is JJ DiGeronimo, the CEO of Tech Savvy Women, and
So you can see in this right here, I have a dual interview series. I do this through Skype. I record my screen, and then I have an interactive conversation. And then through the video, I can actually post in there with YouTube tools annotation that allows people to click on it while the video is going, and then it drives them back to a specific subscription site. So I can either capture the subscription through YouTube, or I can capture the subscription through my website. And I prefer to capture it through my website because then I actually have access to the email address. And then when I do mass marketing activities, I actually have more control of that subscription. So that's how I do the sites. And if you go onto the web page, you'll even see I use my YouTube videos as the hook on the web page to attract subscriptions on the web page too. So I use videos now in all different formats. I have not only have it on the web page, but I have it on my YouTube site, and I also create emails that go out with the videos embedded in them. And so that's been a really great tool because it's actually more engaging, and I get a better open rate on the emails, and I get a better response in my marketing material. Okay? So those are things. And then if you guys are interested, you can let me know. I have a video program that once you watch one video, I say if you like this video and like 20 more videos, you can actually subscribe here. And again, it drives them back to a landing page connected to a Weber that captures their email address, and then we can and then what we can do is we can actually communicate with them. We drop them a new video every single day, and then after that video series is done, we tee them up for a webinar, and from the webinar we then position group coaching. And so we use the videos as a very creative way to engage in every step along the way. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, I'm happy to show you that as well. Okay, so in a Savvy channel, some of the things that we have really helped is Catchy Visuals. I use Fiverr. It's F-I-V-V-E-R. F-I-V-E, I'm going to type it in here. FIVERR.com. And I use that really for that header. I use that for that header that basically captures, that has a picture of me and all my information. It was, you can use for $5, you can get a lot of different graphics that I also embed in the videos themselves. That's been really helpful. I think having a catchy cartoon, that immediate hook, I've been working with Powtoon to have that immediate hook on my website, so when people go to that YouTube channel, they know exactly what the site is for in a cartoon format that has been highly effective and engaging. And I think you have to have many different angles on your YouTube channel to engage people at every step of the way. I've broken this site into all different sections, as you see. I had a group for women in STEM, I had a group for women on a mission, a group for career transitions. When I initially started the site, I would just post all the videos up on the website. And what I realized is that we do have to group it out so people can find the videos very easily. So I both use sections and I also use playlists. And both of those are really important because it helps me categorize my videos and actually provide more of a magazine style view to the YouTube channel. Creating engaging titles. So it has to be catchy titles. I've been working with a YouTube expert that basically has shown me different ways to create engaging titles so that people not only will click on them, but also stay watching the videos. And so not only have I updated my titles, but some of my interview question styles. I think, you know, like anything else, most people these days have some form of ADHD, and you have to really catch them early and then keep them engaged. For all the videos, we have an entire list of about 25 terms that we pick from every time we post a video. So I'll go back to the page just to show you. So just to show you some of the things, we have a set list of words that we use when we go into the video manager, and you can pre-populate those for every video, and then I delete out the ones that I want. So most of the ones that I put in here, you'll see, have very specific SEO. Okay, so each of them, I have a whole list of tags that I find really important, and I put the same tags so that not only in the search engine in YouTube, but also search engine in Google and some of the other platforms, I'm starting to get some momentum in particular areas. So that's really important, is to know your SEO words and terms, and you can help, agencies can help you figure out your top 25 words, or you can use some of the free technologies to do that. Sure, I'll show you the sections. So sections are pretty simple, and I pretty much align them to playlists. I find that really helpful, and so I align multiple playlists to each section. And so when you go into your main page, which is coming through now, you can actually, I'm going to shut some of these pages to make this a little bit easier here. I think we just have too much open. Okay, and you go to the bottom here. So it says add a section. So you basically can add a section, and since many of mine are keyword related, you can do one of two things. You can either create it by a tag. So, and if you want to, tag is also what I just showed you, those keywords. If I wanted to create a section on, let's see, creating your brand, so I'll put creating your brand. And then all the videos that have creating your brand in the description, in the keyword description within the video pops up. And then I can hit done. And there's my new section. So I have a creating a brand, and that all goes there. And then if you just want to delete it, you can just delete it. The other way you can do it is by playlist, which is also helpful. So you can do it by a single playlist or multiples. But let's just use a playlist. So it brings up different playlists I have here. You can see all the different playlists I have. So you can have a section on all your playlists, or if you pick single playlist, you can say, okay, I want a playlist that is just on resume advice. I just want to include that one, and then the tags the ones that resume advice come up, and then I can hit done. And so I've just created. And so it's all in the tagging. And let me just go back once again and just refresh on where the tagging is. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, and it gives you more of this horizontal layout that shows a lot of depth and several options. So if you go back to Video Manager, and you go into any of these, let's just go into this one for a chance. So you just go into the edit. Here are all the tags, and this is really how you determine playlists, and this is how you determine sections. And so different groupings have different tags in them. Very easy to do. One of the things I always connect these to my various social media platforms here. When I initially send it out, I do it and make sure you fill out this box, because if you don't, it basically says put comment here, and it will keep it that way. The other thing is, on some of my videos, I have transcribed them and I put all the content in the description from the video, which also helps with SEO. Now, I have not chosen to monetize mine as of yet, but I believe as I move down the path, eventually I will move to monetization. So that's something that I'm looking at, but I want to continue to build my own personal list through videos, and I feel that the monetization will not give me back enough money to really justify doing it, because my goal is to get them through the video, or at least a partial video, and then drive them to the subscription on my website. And so my goal is to continue to build my own personal list, so that as I provide programs and initiatives, some for fee, some for not, I have a very in-depth list of visitors and subscriptions. Okay, and then one of the things I do is, so usually I post the video, say on a Thursday, and then the following Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll go into the video. I just posted one, so I'll do it with, I'll go into the video, and then a couple days later, I'll share it. And then you can see here, you can share it with all these. So say I'm going to just put it on Pinterest. I just click the Pinterest, my account's set up with Pinterest, and I basically group it in Pinterest and put it in. I have almost similar groupings on Pinterest too. And so I will post it on Pinterest, I'll post it on Google+, I'll post it in many groups on LinkedIn. I think it's really important that you follow your audience on multiple social media platforms, and I love LinkedIn. It's probably my most favorite social media platform, because my audience are high-impact women, which are most of them are working at some level. And so I have many groups. You can have up to 50 free groups in LinkedIn. And when I post this on LinkedIn, I can actually go in and pick the groups I want to post it to. So I can take this, I can copy it, and then I go into the different groups on LinkedIn and then post it up there as well. And so I share it all over the place. But I do usually do it a couple days after I post it on the YouTube channel to give it some breathing room. And then I post it up, and it really helps with, as you can see, I just posted this yesterday, so I'm going to start to blast it all over. And I usually in one day I get a couple hundred views on the video. So again, it's been a couple months now that I've been working on this, but I feel that this channel and the groupings has been instrumental in increasing my subscription base. My own personal list, I've almost doubled so far just by the videos and putting the, subscribe here, which drives back to my list. So if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to share some other information with you, but I'm just going to see a few minutes if we can gather questions so that we can really address any concerns, questions, or ideas that you may have on the line.
JJ, can you hear me, Daniel?
Yes.
Great, awesome. Well, first of all, that was incredibly useful and insightful. That was a blitz of wonderful information, very practical, and I'm sure people are going to really take a lot home from this. So first of all, thank you so much for this.
Thank you. It's a great opportunity, and it's just great to share what I've learned. And I'm very happy to share my some of the vendors that I've used to help create the programs and some of the resources, because I really am a big believer in staying good at your main thing and outsourcing everything else. And so I've taught myself some of the videos, but I really do use quite a few people to help with some of the momentum around the channel.
great. And so I did want to ask you a little bit about, content where, a lot of us are not highly creative people, and, how do you gather content and get ideas to, optimizing different content and, just the curating it. So talk a little bit about the difference between curating content and generating original content, both in terms of SEO and in terms of just the creative process of getting there. I think that's a challenge for many people.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Well, I do a lot of readings. I mostly spend my first part of my day reading, and because my business is really around, my business is mostly business, I spend a lot of time reading. I have thousands and thousands of connections on LinkedIn, and so I spend the morning looking at all the posts on LinkedIn, not only in my specified groups, but also on the main thread of LinkedIn to see what's happening. And I usually get quite a few of ideas just from that. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I'm always interested in neat and interesting people. And so if I find somebody, if I read about them in an article or I like their post, I will reach out to them through LinkedIn. It's usually my first choice. Sometimes I'll use Facebook if I can't find them through LinkedIn. And I see if I can schedule a 15-minute interview with them. And so generally those conversations then, lead me down another path for more information or another great content. So I often repost other people's content with my own comments, or I create the content after I meet new people or I read articles and get ideas of, oh, that's a good article, but this is, I'd probably view it slightly different. And I always start off with a list. So I put my first 3 things down that I would talk about. And I have found that the list approach has been highly effective when I go about different blogs, and I repurpose content all the time. So if I go on TV to talk about 10 ways to ask for a raise, I'll have a TV show about that, I'll have a blog about it, and then I'll create a video where I chop up the 10 into 10 separate videos. And usually each one of them is a minute long. And so I'm really a big believer in repurposing content.
Oh, that's fantastic advice. So you're saying instead of making one long video, which I think most people tend to do, is like try to get as much information out as possible at any given interaction, break it down into as many separate interactions as possible. And that way you'll be generating more and more content. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because if you just kind of put it out there, after a while you'll run out of steam. You'll just be
right.
You just run out of ideas. So this way you're basically creating 100 for the price of one.
Yeah, and one of the things we did here is the personal branding. Is you take the 20 most common questions asked about personal branding. And so I worked with a woman out of San Francisco, Victoria Griggs, and what she does is she really helped me. Put each of these together. So I wrote down the 20 most popular questions, and then I created a video with here's the question and here's my answer. And so you'll see, the video basically talks about the question, the answer, and then at the end here of the video, I drive them towards, if you like this answer, you'll see here.
If you've enjoyed this video and want 20 free videos of top questions professionals ask about enhancing your professional brand, visit www.purposefulwoman.com/brand.
And so each of them are 1 to 3 minutes long, and then it drives you to this brand page, which you can then capture their email address and name, and then they get a 20 free videos of that. And then after they get the 20 free videos, then it tees you up for a webinar. And, I created all the videos, but I worked with Victoria Griggs to really help me put this entire process together from beginning to end.
Oh, wow. This is great advice. So what you're really saying here is, YouTube it gives a default platform for suggested videos, which a lot of people rely on, and saying, oh, if they're going to watch one video on my channel, they might watch another one and another one, and that way I create more engagement. And really what you're saying is YouTube does that in order to keep people on their website and not lead them to yours. You're hijacking that system and saying, I don't want them to watch another YouTube video of mine on YouTube. I really am interested in them watching the next video on my website. So I'm going to make sure, even if it costs me with YouTube views, I'm pushing them to my website to watch it there. That's all I care about in the end of the day. And I think that is wonderful advice and very focused tactics. So really, thank you for sharing that.
Well, thank you, Daniel. This has been a real pleasure, and for anyone who wants to connect on LinkedIn, they can reach me at JJDGeronimo. If you have any questions, you can work through Daniel, and we can make sure we get you back some answers. But we really appreciate you taking the time to join today.
Fantastic. JJ, I'm certain we will have you again for other fantastic information. You're great. And yeah, JJ does great work here with promoting great videos to help train women. She also does a lot of talks and webinars and help women, powerful women, do more. I hope that was accurate.
Yep.
Great. And you know, of course, if you want to watch more of our videos, they're on our YouTube channel. But after this webinar, I'm definitely going to push them onto our website rather than push people to watch them on YouTube. So there we go. Join us again for another webinar. We'll have more. And thank you so much, Jake. If you her contact info is in the notes.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.